they're just so cost effective nowadays. For $25 a month, you could buy QuickBooks Online and use those digital tools to organize that data for you. Okay, so it gets rid of the spreadsheets. But once it's set up properly, then it's not that hard to manage and organize.
So what are some of these easy tools that you'd recommend that are out there online that, you know, people can download or purchase at a reasonable cost?
Yeah, so the accounting software that's out there, I recommend QuickBooks Online. It's a cloud-based accounting system, super easy to use. It's got an app. So it kind of goes in hands with tip number 2 about organizing your data. So when you're looking at revenue, really an easy way to organize the revenue is by automating your income. So if you get paid by PayPal, that's super automated. You don't have to chase customers down for checks. You don't have to chase them down for cash. If a check comes in, you've got to know who it was from. So by using a PayPal or even email money transfers, that will talk to QuickBooks. And we can tell where that customer came from. So there's probably painting industry software out there as well. I know of one called Jobber, but I don't know, Paul, if there's any industry specific painting software which will manage that revenue and exactly who that invoice was sent to. So those invoices, keeping track of invoices instead of just on a piece of paper with a quote book or receipt book that you have. Using those digital tools can help organize that revenue. From an expense standpoint, I recommend Receipt Bank, or it's called Dext, D-E-X-T. But what I recommend to my clients is, managing all those expenses. You go to the paint store, or gives you a receipt. What do you do with that receipt? It's tucked in the truck or your shoebox.
Yeah.
So with Receipt Bank, it just uses your cell phone, take a picture of it right away. That automatically gets published to your accounting software. You can throw the pay.
That's helpful. That's super helpful. And I'll tell you why, because, you know, in the first few years of my painting business, I would give my accountant or my bookkeeper the actual receipts, and they'd come back and say, Paul, there's like 7 things that are missing here. Do you have the receipts for those? And I'd have to go onto my truck or, you know, go back to the paint store and ask for another receipt. So I think that's, you know, making your process efficient by just taking a picture of it. That's a wicked tip. So using software to automate your process with your revenues, your expenses, something like QuickBooks even will get you started. It helps bridge that gap between you and your bookkeeper. Is that what I'm kind of hearing from you?
Yep, absolutely. It's so even at the end of the year, your accountant or bookkeeper can log in. You can give them a login, and they can do it for you monthly. So at the end of the year, it just minimizes the cost, right? Because all of these things have a cost. When you bring that shoebox to the accountant, if it's unorganized, he's going to charge you more money. Whereas
I
if
see.
it's nice and organized and tidy, it's going to cost you less.